ready for the most part, just need to get dressed, and now I need to go wake up some boys and get them ready. They're almost always up watching TV by the time I get out of the shower and come to get them. The little one is not a breakfast fan, so he generally doesn't eat in the morning, maybe a banana or something. It's actually helpful that the big one is the only one who eats breakfast, because when we have these mornings where we're kind of pressed for time, the big one will actually go and make himself a bowl of cereal or a bowl of yogurt, and he's ready to go when I come out to the kitchen. I know once the winter sets in, I'll probably be making oatmeal in the mornings just because it's nice to have a warm meal. There's always a small battle in the morning. Somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or he's mad that I want to turn the TV off. So it all depends on how the morning goes. A lot of times the boys are really good. They're dressed, they're ready to go when they should. But sometimes it's a fight just to get them dressed. So now I'm following the boys out the door because they're usually really good about getting their bags on, coats and shoes, and getting in the car when I tell them it's time to go. So let's go off to school. So here I am in my car, ready to drive to Viborg and ready to start my classes because I want to make sure that I'm not late. I tend to get there a little bit early. Okay, so I just reached school. I'm in the parking lot. I'm about 15 minutes early, but I like to go in and get set up and kind of just sit with my headphones on, listen to some light music or maybe some motivational speakers, just something to get me kind of ready for the day because it's a long day. You know, a lot of lectures, a lot of note-taking, a lot of group work. So I'm trying to have a little bit of me time before it all gets started. So it took me close to a half an hour to get here because of traffic. I have my first class at 8:15, and that's pretty normal. And at some point we usually get about a 5-minute break, or we get a 15-minute break, and then we'll have a lunch break. Some days I have 2 classes, and some days I just have 1 class, but that 1 class could go from 8:15 to 3 o'clock. So it all depends on what the schedule is. My schedule is completely different every single day. So it's not like every Monday is the same. It's not. One Monday is different from the next. But I'm starting to see that there's some repetition, like every Thursday afternoon there tends to be Danish classes, but I don't think that's supposed to last forever because they said there's only so many Danish lessons that they offer. But because I've already passed all of my Danish exams at the language school, I don't have to take Danish classes here, which is kind of nice. Tomorrow is my son's birthday, which means I will be making cookies tonight when I get home for him to take into school. I also have to wrap his presents. And the boys also have sports they have to get to. So yeah, it doesn't really leave a whole lot of time to study unless I do it after they go to bed. So here's more of a continuation of my day. It's a little after 8 o'clock and I'm gonna go into my school now. So here I am walking into school. I can almost anticipate that I'll be one of the first people there because a lot of the students in my class live across the street in student housing, and they roll out of bed right when they need to, and I guess if I were them, I probably would do the same. But I have a 25-minute drive, and you never know how things are gonna go, so I try to get here early, and that just works fine for me. So here we go. On the days that I don't bring my lunch, I get the lunch from the cafeteria. And it's actually a really good price and really good food that they make here. Have a look. Today I got some curry vegetables with green beans and rice and a salad and an egg. And I think all of it cost me about $6. So it all depends on how much you get, of course, is how much you pay. They have a scale, you weigh your food, and then that's how they charge you. I bring my own water, so I don't have to buy any here, but that's one thing that I do if I don't bring my own lunch. I tend to bring my own lunch, but sometimes it's just really nice when you have a really full bag just to buy it here. It's warm and pretty good food usually. Today our class got out at 3, so I am stopping at the store to get something for the boys. This is Vibor Store Center, which is an area where we have a lot of shops, and I need to go into the sports shop. Okay, so I was able to get gloves for my kids and swim goggles, and of course it wouldn't be Denmark if it wasn't raining. Now I'm just gonna pop into the toy store, BR, to see if they have any good deals for a last minute birthday gift since my son's birthday is tomorrow. Usually when we get home, the boys do their homework. I help, but I also take this time to make lunch boxes. So here's an idea of just what I put in their lunches. My younger son, he likes rye bread, and this is actually a carrot bread. We like to go back and forth between regular rye bread and maybe something else just to give him some variety. This has butter and liver pasty, which is liver pate, and it's pork pate, and then another piece of rye bread that is just flat that I haven't folded, and that's got butter and salami, or what they call here spypalooza. So he gets that, and then he gets cucumber, tomatoes, red pepper, and then a piece of cheese. And our cheese that we have here is called Oosterhaps, and so it's like a string cheese. So that's what he gets in his lunch. Sometimes I might put in like a fig bar or some type of fruit cracker. Big brother does not like rye bread, so he has a bun, and then we usually put butter on it and either ham or chicken. That's what he likes best. Then he gets red peppers, cucumbers, and tomatoes. He's not a really big string cheese guy, but a lot of times I will put fruit crackers in here if we have any. It all depends on how well he's eating his lunch. If his lunch comes back home and there's stuff still in it, then I don't tend to put the crackers in. They also have a fruit container because they get to eat their fruit first, and I usually just put in apples or grapes, whatever we have, pears maybe. If it's closer to warmer weather, maybe it's watermelon, but It's usually apple or grapes that we put in there. Sometimes the little guy will get a whole banana, but the big boy won't want that. So I make these lunch boxes when we come home from school, usually around 4:30 or so, and I put them in the fridge and then they are ready to go. Sometimes I will also pack a lunch for myself. That's usually whatever leftovers we have. I don't tend to go into anything specific. The boys tend to get the same lunch almost every day. But for me, it all depends. If I have to take a lot of books with me, I'm probably not going to be taking my lunch because I just don't want to have all that stuff to carry, and I'll just buy lunch. But it all depends. Of course, depending on whoever is taking the kids to sports, maybe one of us will stay home and make supper. And what's tonight? Falafel and pasta primavera. We try to have some quick meals during the week because we have maybe my husband and one of my sons coming home just in time to eat. And yeah, we don't want to spend our whole day making supper. But the supper I pretty much started making shortly thereafter we finished with lunch boxes and homework. So it's just me being in the kitchen for a good hour and a half or so right after we come home from school, and or part of that, and then my husband the other part, and then we sit down and have supper as a family. Now the boys are home, showered, brushed their teeth, and in bed. And we read them a story, sing them a song, whatever it is that they ask for usually. They're never too big to have a little bit of quality time. Sometimes we just sit and talk about their day. My life is pretty much geared to whatever it is that they're doing. So it's taking them somewhere. Maybe I'm participating, like I'm helping out with the sport, or I'm just dropping them off as a chauffeur, really keeping me busy. And of course, I still have to find my time to study, but I would rather study when they're asleep than when they're home, so I get to spend some time with them. They're officially asleep, so that actually means that it's time for me to start studying. When the kids go to bed, I have about, 2 hours before my eyes go cross and I get so tired that I can't think straight. So I usually have a lot to read, or I try to study and read notes and things like that. And I work on that until about 10:30, 11 o'clock every night. That's pretty much my day. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. Then I'm going to get ready for bed. Thanks for following me along in my day in the life video, so you get to see just what life is like for me. So if you enjoyed this video of my day in the life being an expat mom and also a full-time student, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to click the red subscribe button. And as always, take care.